Kicking off our local lineup, crime in the city was a major topic at City Hall as the officer in charge of the Lloydminster RCMP detachment presented 2021 crime numbers. As Jace Mackey reports, while overall crime is up, it wasn't all bad news.
Lloydminster saw an 8% increase in criminal code offenses in 2021 compared to 2020. That news came from Inspector Lee Brockman during his presentation to City Council. The city has seen a 24% increase in crimes against the person, while property crimes were up 15%. Certain types of offenses did see a drop, including vehicle thefts and break-and-enters.
We're seeing some decreases and some increases on various fronts. Less vehicles being stolen was a highlight, because I hear from people often that their vehicle has been taken.
The mayor says looking back over the past 6 years, crime has been consistent. Drug offenses were down in 2021, same with traffic violations. Albers says the local detachment has to cast a wide net and focus on everything from drug trafficking to noise complaints.
There's also the mental health and addiction piece that they get involved in, but most often don't have a solution, and they're just a part of almost a caregiver in part of that. Certainly, as we're going into spring and the summer, we know that speeding, noise violations, and things like that from traffic perspective.
The importance of reporting crime was stressed at the meeting to ensure stats are as reliable as possible.
They may not be able to recover what's been taken out of your backyard, be it a bicycle or something like that, but it's important to track that, because that gives those statistics come back to City Council when they ask for more resources. It is a taxpayer cost, but we can also justify it if it's justifiable.
Albers says he hears concerns from residents that the RCMP are not doing their job, but he says they're only the first step in the justice system, and the problems are federal and provincial issues.
There's a breakdown in the system, and it's at the provincial and federal levels, so we'll look to them for solutions, because that's what we have to do, but we'll carry that message forward to Regina.
The RCMP say they've been able to ramp up public engagement, including creating a local Facebook page and opening dialogue with diverse communities. For Primetime Local News, I'm Jace Mackey.
A local woman is sharing the story of how COVID-19 has changed her life, and I got the chance to meet her. 70-year-old Shirley Madden is a nana to 13. She loves to spend time in the garden, and she worships the king. But what seems like an ordinary life for Shirley was completely flipped upside down last April.
But I would never wish going through what I did to anybody.
After developing COVID-like symptoms prior to being vaccinated, Shirley was hesitant. But after a trip to the Lloyd Hospital under worsening conditions, she was transported to Saskatoon via Stars helicopter.
When I got there, they had put me into an induced coma. And I was in that coma for, I think, 2.5 months.
During that time, her family was told that they might be saying their last goodbyes on 3 different occasions.
The doctor said it was a miracle that I survived. If I hadn't have gone in when I did, that it was that bad. And I had pneumonia, I guess, as well.
Since her hospitalization, Shirley has developed a number of lingering conditions, including COPD and type 2 diabetes.
You try to do things that you used to do, and you just can't do them anymore. So it's depressing, and there are times when I still get quite depressed, actually. And now just washing the floor or doing a few dishes or changing my bed or little things like that, and it plays me out.
In regard to the lasting complications from COVID-19, much is still unknown. But through the use of a survey, researchers from Saskatoon's Vaccine and Infectious Disease Organization are trying to learn more.
We might be able to capture what those symptoms look like for the people, again, in Saskatchewan specifically, so we can start building support services, treatments, therapies for these people.
The anonymous survey can be taken online at ethica.com using participation code 1913.
So identifying these people who have long COVID is the next big step.
I know I'm not young, but, you know, before I got sick, I was still able to clean the house and, you know, do laundry and all that kind of stuff. But it's a little bit greater task now.
Tate Laycraft, Primetime Local News, Lloydminster. It's been a pretty beautiful day, if you ask me, but let's check in with Shelby Clark and see if she has any promises for the future.
So much, Tate. Yes, we are seeing a beautiful day here in the border city. We are sitting at 9-degree mark there. We're almost hitting those double digits, but not quite there just yet. But we are seeing a beautiful day, lots of sunshine. So hopefully everybody got outside to enjoy it. You know, take a stroll at Bud Miller Park, go outside, just take a nice walk because you know that snow is melting down there. And this will continue on throughout the week. Now switching over to temperatures across the region now on the Alberta side, we are seeing some double-digit temps here. Down in Provost and Wainwright, they are seeing 12 degrees. 11 over in Edmonton, while Lac La Biche is just hitting that 10-degree mark. Most spots are seeing around 6 degrees, while it is 8 degrees in Vermilion and Cold Lake, and Marwayne is just hitting 9. Switching now over to our Saskatchewan side here, they are still seeing those plus temperatures, but they aren't seeing as warm as the Alberta side, unfortunately. But down in Macklin, they are seeing a warmer day right now, seeing that 12-degree mark. Most spots are seeing around 5 and 6 degrees on the Saskatchewan side. Up in Isle Cross, they are sitting at 4 degrees. Maidstone is seeing a slightly warmer day as well, seeing 7, and North Battleford is seeing that 6-degree point. And North Battleford will be going down to a low of -5, so they will be cooling down just slightly, but not too bad whatsoever. For their evening low, they will be seeing a beautiful evening, and throughout the night, they will be seeing a couple clouds in sight. Then tomorrow, they will be seeing 4 degrees with a mix of some sun and cloud. For Cold Lake overnight, they'll be cooling down to a low of -3, so they will be seeing that beautiful evening low as well. Tomorrow, they will be seeing a nice day with 7 degrees, and they will be seeing a lot more sun shining behind those clouds. And for us here in the border city, we'll be cooling down to -2, so we will be seeing a beautiful night. We will be seeing a pretty warm night, of course, and throughout the night, we will be seeing a couple clouds in sight. Then tomorrow, we will be seeing 5 degrees with a mix of some sun and cloud, but we will be seeing another sunnier day, as I was saying, so it will be continuing on. I hope everybody is taking nice advantage. And now showing off one of your beautiful photo submissions. This one is from Carol. Thank you so much again, Carol, for a beautiful weather photo. I love seeing all the animals out there, and you got the nice cloudy sky in the background. This is a gorgeous shot, and you can continue to submit your weather photos to our Facebook page. I will use them on my weather segments, but that's all I got for now. Thank you so much, Carol, once again. And now we'll have more news coming up after the break.
Ron McLean, Tara Sloan, and the rest of the hometown hockey crew wrapped up festivities last night. With a recap on the 3-day event, here's Evan Kenny.
Over the weekend, Rogers Hometown Hockey took over the border city. There were plenty of activities, from accuracy shooting to autographs from NHL alumni, and of course, Monday night's viewing party.
History. He's a former Axeman, and he was on the 2001 Allen Cup.
Hometown Hockey was created in 2014 with the purpose of uniting communities nationwide. This is Lloydminster's second time hosting.
I really can't say enough thanks to Rogers Hometown Hockey to come back to Lloydminster, for the volunteers that stepped up, for the city administration and team that helped make sure things were all good at the Service Sports Centre.
Albers also added he's happy the community could come together as one.
So glad that we were able to gather as a group, as a community. We had guests from out of town, took advantage of it. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone that stepped up and helped out.
This was Hometown Hockey's first stop in 2022 and has 2 more stops in Alberta before hitting BC. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Let's take a look at some of your pet pad picture submissions, and there is still plenty of time to get your photos in if you want a shot at the Pet Pad gift card on Friday.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
this week's edition of Pet Project, everybody. We're joined once again with Becca Lawrence from the Lloydminster and Community SPCA. Becca, what do we have to chat about this week? What's the big topic of the week?
Yeah, so these beautiful ladies, oh, the other one left. These beautiful ladies are Chic and Vogue. So they have actually been in the shelter since they were about 1 month old. And they were in foster for a bit because they were just obviously, you know, pretty young and needed that time. And then they were a little bit under the weather as well for a little bit. But yeah, so now they're big and ready to go. Obviously, they've been up for adoption for a little while now. You know, they hung out here for a bit, and then they hung out over at Puppy Love. And now, like, they're about 5 months old now, or 6 months old, sorry, now. And we're just, they've been together for so long. So we want to adopt them out as a bonded pair. So these guys will have a bit of a modified adoption fee. But yeah, we would really like to see them go to a home together.
Yeah, that would certainly be lovely, and obviously cats are very social creatures, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's always nice when you can have a pair of cats together who get along, you know, and obviously when they've already bonded like that, you know they're going to get along, and another nice thing about having paired cats is they tend to entertain each other a little bit, you know, which is something people don't talk about with cats. You know, people know that when you have a dog or you have a puppy, you gotta stimulate it, right? You have to play with it. You gotta take it for walks and runs and burn that energy off. Well, you have to do the same thing with cats too, and to a certain extent. And when you have a paired set of cats like that, they kind of help burn each other out, so to speak, which is always nice. So if anybody out there is looking, you know, specifically if you want a nice pair of cats who get along well, have already been proven, certainly Chic and Vogue are good options, and I gotta say they do look adorable. I'm not sure which one it was, but at one point it was reaching out and it was trying to give you pets, like it was flipping the script on you, which was adorable. So certainly look like affectionate cats would be a lovely addition to any home. Beautiful, and we have a few other topics, so we'll just keep on going here, but you guys have some events coming up. Specifically this weekend, you guys have a big one, a big new one, which is getting tacked onto the Family Expo, which people, you know about, has been a thing in the city. But this year, there's a new one, which is the Collectors Con. So I'm just gonna, once again, I'll let you kind of chit-chat about it. We chatted about it last week a little bit, but just a reminder for anybody who maybe, you know, didn't catch last week's episode for whatever reason, but I'll let you kind of give people the rundown.
Yeah, so it's from Babs Gaming and Sports Cards. So they just opened up here in Lloydminster last July. So not quite a year yet, but you know they're gaining traction and it's great. So they decided they want to do a collector con. So just, you know, gather up collectors and, you know, people that want to, you know, trade or sell or anything like that. And then the Family Expo invited them to join them for their weekend, which is really great. And yeah, so, you know, proceeds from their silent auction and other sections of their event will come to the SPCA. And, you know, great things are going on, like Henry Gizmo Williams will be there from the Edmonton Eskimos, or previous Edmonton Eskimos. I'm not the hugest sports person. But
Neither am I. I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, but he'll be there, you know, available for photos, autographs, things like that. So if you've ever been a fan, he's definitely going to be there on Saturday, I believe. And so, yeah, that's just something. And then their silent auction is live right now. So even if you go to their Facebook page, the link will be there. But you can also like their page, the Collector Con page as well, too. And you can follow along on there.
Certainly, and this is like I mentioned, it's a new event for the Border City.
Yeah.
We've never quite had something like this as far as collectibles and things go. So I know quite a few people in the city who are really into, you know, things like sports cards and old toys and things like that, which I'm sure obviously will be in full attendance there. So, you know, mark them on your calendars. It's going to be a great event. So stop on by, support the SPCA, support a new event in the city, you know, so that we can keep these things coming back every year would be absolutely wonderful. And one last thing we have to touch on, Becca, which is fundraiser coming up. And this one I'm super excited about because it combines my two favorite things, which are animals and pizza. So please, Becca, why don't we'll just chat about that again real quick. Another local business, Spiro's, wonderful company, wonderful people are helping out. And yeah, I'll just let you tell the people about what to expect.
Yeah, so it's their pizza fundraiser. They've been doing it for quite a while now. And they, you know, obviously help all the local people, charities, everything, things like that here in the Border City. That's amazing. So this week we will be starting our pizza fundraiser. So we're just waiting on the link to post it on our website and our Facebook page. And that's all you have to do. You just order online. And then when the pickup date, I believe is the 21st of April, that's when you can come to the SPCA. I'll have all the pizzas here and you can pick up your order.
There you go. So obviously, Spiros Pizza, amazing, home style pizza. It's so delicious. It's not a chain. It's something that you can't get anywhere else, and it is very unique and tasty, and I love it. And so, great way to get your fix and to also help out a good local charity, the SPCA. And like we mentioned before, Spiros helps out lots of local organizations and things like that. So certainly a good event to get involved in. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this week. But I want to say thank you, Becca. I want to say thank you to Vogue and, Chic. There we go. I knew how it was spelled. I was having trouble thinking of how to say it. But there we go. Vogue and Chic, thank you so much for stopping by. If you want to meet them, stop in at the SPCA and say hi. But once again, that's all the time we have for this week. So we'll speak with you guys again next week.
Yes, for sure. We'll see you next week.
Pet Project is sponsored by the Pet Pad. For total pet care, think Pet Pad.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Today for Primetime Local News, I'm joined with two researchers from the University of Saskatchewan to talk about their research on the wheat sector. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Sure, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
First off, do you mind telling us a little bit more about your research and what it's all about?
Are you aware, Nicole, of Fusarium head blight? It's a disease of wheat and barley that's really difficult to control across the prairies.
I can't say that I do know much about it, so do you mind letting us know what that is?
Yeah, it's a disease that affects the plants during flowering of the wheat and the barley crops, and then it affects the kernel development, and it reduces yield is one thing, but it sometimes even more significantly, it reduces quality. So you get toxins formed in the grain, so you can't really market the grain very easily, or it has to be processed before it can be used, like blended off, things like that. But it's become probably the #1 disease of wheat growers and even barley growers across the prairies, I'd say, in most years. So the project that Dr. Wong and I have submitted, first of all, to the Western, WGRF, I always know the acronym, but Western Grain Research Foundation, and the Saskatchewan Wheat Development Commission were the two initial funders, and then we were able to match that funding with funding from NSERC, which is the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council. And so we've got quite a large project to look at, how can we help plant breeders especially to breed better varieties. So the project is really quite diverse. It's a selection of tools, basically, and we're collaborating with the College of Medicine, the College of Engineering, the College of Computer Science. So it's quite a diverse group. And some of the things we're looking at is we found that the disease is usually more of a problem in shorter wheat varieties. And so that growers generally like shorter varieties, especially where they get lots of rain, more moisture. But that tends to be associated with Fusarium susceptibility. So there's some interesting genetics there.
Yeah, so that part is we want to develop a quick and more efficient screening tool to select some resistant lines. So that in synchrotron, they have some high energy equipment to produce the energy, and we look at the X-ray imaging technology. So we want to look at inside the spike, the kernel inside of the spike. So conventionally, if we want to read the disease or Fusarium damage the kernel, we had to manually peel the spikes and take the kernel out and read by our eyes. So that is low efficient and very time and labor required process. So we hope we can use this high-tech X-ray imaging to develop a fast and more efficient tool to screen the FDK in the future.
So how do you feel that this research will help the agriculture community?
Basically, it's to select resistant varieties. So the plant breeders are always looking for new sources of resistance, and those have to be evaluated. So some of the methods they use are looking at the fusarium damaged kernels, the FDKs that Dr. Wong mentioned. So as he said, we do that visually. It's time consuming. When you do it all day, you get tired. Your ratings might not be as accurate as the beginning of the day, things like that. So if you can have a computer do it, an imaging system do it, that would really speed up the breeding process, or at least make it much more accurate, so the breeders could select for resistance in the germplasm that they're dealing with, and therefore we'd have resistant varieties. Hopefully, might come out faster, or would improve the efficiency of the process for sure. And then the other part too, with the short varieties, we hope that we could have varieties that are shorter, so that growers don't tend to want tall varieties because they fall over, they lodge. So if we can have short varieties and fusarium resistance, that would be a real benefit to the growers and to the wheat industry. So, the industry itself benefits. If the growers can grow good quality wheat, then the processors have good quality wheat to process. So it benefits the whole chain.
And you've received a few grants over the past few years. So how do you feel that this money will help further your research?
Yeah, the funds, well, it started last year with the Western Grains Research Foundation and Saskatchewan Wheat Development Commission funding. So we've already started a PhD student to work on the project with us. And then we have some technical help as well. So this additional funding from the government will allow us now to hire a postdoctoral fellow. So that's someone who's completed their PhD, but is looking for a particular project that they can do in 2 or 3 years. As well as possibly one more master's student in our program. And then in our colleagues programs, like at the College of Medicine and College of Engineering and Computer Science, they will also take on some students to do different parts of the project. They'll work with students to manage some of these aspects we've discussed. And so we'll be training highly qualified personnel, as they say in insert lingo. So it'll benefit students who are the next scientists, the next generation of scientists as well.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Great, thanks Nicole, appreciate the interest.
Now ending off with taking a quick look at your 7-day forecast. Wednesday, tomorrow, we will be seeing another beautiful day with 5 degrees with a mix of some sun and clouds. So we will be seeing another sunnier day. So get ready, because we are going to be seeing a lot more sun this week. Thursday, we'll have the same thing with a lot more sun, but we will be seeing a 40% chance of some flurries, but hopefully that snow will melt down there. Friday, Saturday, we'll be seeing a nice kind of warmer weekend, with Friday with 1 degree and -5 on Saturday and -2 on Sunday. And we will be seeing some more high chances of some snowfall through the weekend, but it will melt down pretty soon, because next Tuesday after Monday we will be seeing +2 next Tuesday with a mix of some sun and cloud and a low of -6.
Yes, thank you very much, Shelby. That right there, though, is all the time we have for this first hour of our program. If you missed anything, you can catch more news coming right up.